Before I start a new series about my 13-day hike along and around Kungsleden, let me show you what I have in my backpack. Hi everyone! So on Wednesday, I'm going on my next hiking trip for 13 days. And I was thinking I will show you what I take with me, as other YouTubers usually do. Today is Monday. I will be packing on Wednesday actually, but I bought my food today and I will show you what I have for food, and actually I also want to separate it into some bags. When I hike, I usually eat warm food in the morning and in the evening, and for that I bought this kind of breakfast bags. And where are my dinners? I can only find breakfasts, but basically I have the same things. Yeah, that's an example of my dinner food. And I have 14 of these, 7 for breakfast and 7 for dinners, because I will be staying in the huts. And how many is it? 6 huts will have food in them, little stores. I will be able to buy food there, which is why I only need to carry my dinners and breakfast for these 7 days when I stay in the huts which do not have stores. But during the day, I usually do not eat anything warm. I just eat energy bars. I wake up in the morning, I have my breakfast, and then I hike the whole day without cooking. I just hike and hike until I reach the next hut. That's just my style. So during the day I eat energy bars, and this is the bag of energy bars which I bought today. You see, it's crazy. I have a whole bag of energy bars, and usually I separate them into smaller bags. For a day I put all my energy bars into this pocket, so I can just get it out and eat it. And I usually have my thermos in this bag. I don't even need to stop. I just get out my energy bars, I get myself some tea, and I have a snack on the way. But what I like to do, at the end of the day, I just remove all used wrappers out of this pocket and I put it in the energy bars for the next day. And before I go, I prefer to have, well, let's say I have 13 days to hike. I will have 13 bags with energy bars, so that I don't need to think about it when I'm on my way. Just when I get to a new hut, I get a bag with bars and I put them into the pockets for the next day. Which is why what I will do now, I will have 13 bags, which is horrible for the environment, I know, but I will use them afterwards. It's not just for this trip. And I will separate these energy bars into 13 bags. I will speed it up for you and you will see me doing it. Okay, there we go. You see, I have 13 bags, which look like this. And now it's kind of easy to pack. And then I just put them at the bottom of my backpack, and I put bars from one for the next day into the pocket. And as you can see there, all of them different. So, well, not all of them are different, but I'm trying to have different ones in a bag so that I don't get bored during the day. And I think I miscounted the number of energy bars when I bought it today. I usually take kind of 7 bars per day, and I think I'm missing, some of the bags have 6 bars, so I will have to buy some more tomorrow. My counting is kind of like so. My breakfast has 600 calories, my dinner has 600 calories, which is 1200 calories for warm meal. Usually I have a chocolate bar for the evening, which is another 500 calories, and that makes what, 1700. And I think when I hike the whole day I need at least 3000 calories, and that's why I take the rest, 1300, and it's about 200 to 300 calories per energy bar, which kind of gives me 6 energy bars. But as I mentioned in my skiing video, usually by the end of a week-long trip I lose 4 or 5 kilograms, which is why I'm really worried this time, because it's the first time that I'm going for 13 days. And I really need to eat more, because it's okay to lose that much in a week, then you come back and you put it back. But if I really lose too much weight, it's not good for my health. I will definitely try to eat more. But yeah, you saw the first stage of my packing. That's my meal prep, food. And on Wednesday I will show you what I'm taking with me in terms of just the rest of the stuff. Hi. So it's Wednesday. My train is today at 9:50 in the evening, which is why I took a day off. Well, half day off. Maybe I will do some work in the afternoon, but now it's morning and I'm planning to pack, and I will show you what I'm taking with me. First, I usually just lay everything on the bed as a pile, and then I make the final decision about what I take, what I do not take, and then I try to fit it all into the backpack. It's a lot of food this time, and I really don't want my backpack to be too heavy, but we'll see how it goes. The first thing I usually take are my cameras. So there is this camera I'm filming on, and that's a new one. I have my old vlogging camera, which I'm taking with me, and I really like it. But now there is, first I'm going for almost 2 weeks, and there isn't enough storage on this one, which is why I bought a new one. Also because, well, this one has 4K quality, and this one is pretty old. I'm trying to just have better quality video. Then I have my large camera. That's what I use to take all of my pictures. And yeah, sorry about the mess. My apartment looks horrible. Then I have my drone. The remote is out because I was charging it overnight. Here is my camera, my drone. Yeah, as you can see, I have come out. I have a drone in there. I have 2 extra batteries to my drone. The remote goes in. Yes, so I have a drone. Then I have my 360 camera, which is this guy. Sometimes you can see me filming with a camera that looks like it's flying next to me. It's this one. You see, it's a 360 camera, so it fills everything. And I have Yeah, that's a selfie stick that comes with it. And it's very clever. When I edit my videos in the app automatically edits out the stick, so it looks like the camera is flying next to me. I have an extra battery for this camera. I charged it just a couple of days ago. Then I have a magnetic pendant for my Insta360. I'm just like hanging it on myself, and then I can attach the camera to my chest and film while walking and everything. That's also a very convenient thing. That's why I really like my Insta360 camera. And when you have so many cameras, you really have to carry a lot of charging stuff. So I have several power banks. This is my largest power bank. It's 30,000. And then I have two 20,000 and another 20,000, because there will not be any electricity along the way. Only at some point in the middle I will be staying at a mountain station, and that usually has some electricity. And the smallest one, this one is 5,000. I usually carry it on a bag, just around my hips, and then I can charge my phone as I go. I usually put the larger charging devices into my backpack because I do the charging in the evening. Yeah, I will put everything on and then I will show you what I have. Okay, I laid out all the stuff and it's a lot. Look at this. So I'm seriously concerned. The main problem being the food, because usually it's the same stuff that I take every time. But since I'm going for almost 2 weeks, I have a full bag of dinners and breakfasts. And where's the second bag? And a full bag of energy bars. And I feel like that will fill my backpack. I might need to rethink some things. But let's see what I usually take with me. Sometimes people ask me what I do for the hygiene, because you don't have showers in the huts. And rivers and lakes are really cold in the north, so I don't enjoy them. In some huts there will be saunas, so there at least you can wash yourself. But for the other days I take wet wipes for all of my body parts. And to go with this, that's my toiletries, like shampoo, some hand soap and other things. Then I already showed you my cameras and my chargers. I have a second pair of glasses. If you have seen my running videos, I usually run with my lenses on, but putting on lenses when hiking, it's a pain, so I usually go with my glasses. And obviously I need a second pair in case something happens. This is to wipe my glasses. I have, I've forgotten one. No, it's okay. So the problem with going hiking in the fall is that it's quite cold during the night. So in the morning and in the evening, I check the forecast and it will be about 4 degrees Celsius. And during the day, it might be quite warm, up to 15, 16 degrees. And because of that, I take 2 jackets. This is my winter puff jacket. It's also in case of emergencies. If I get stuck outside during the night, I will need that. But also I have this medium jacket. which I wear when the temperature is around, I would say, between 5 and 10 degrees Celsius. And also there is a lighter jacket which is still hanging there, but I will put it on when I go to the train. Then the most important thing, my raincoat. It rains a lot in the north. I will be in the rain probably most of the time, which is why I have this really amazing raincoat from Decathlon. It has a huge backside to go like around your backpack, and it also has some zippers. Usually these kind of raincoats come as ponchos, and that is not as comfortable as when you have a zipper and you can just zip it on and off. And it even has like some opening underarms which you can unzip, and then it's so nice when it's hot. This is a landing pad for my drone. I have a headlamp. There is no electricity in the huts, which is why in the evening it's very convenient to have that. But also you might need it if you are stuck on the trail after dark. I have two, because these are really important, so I have one as a backup. I have a mosquito net to put around my face. I hope all the mosquitoes are gone by this time of year, but they might not. And then around the lakes, you really need that. Otherwise, mosquitoes just make you go crazy. When you stay in the huts, you cannot just sleep in the bed. You have to carry some kind of something with you. For example, you can either sleep in your sleeping bag, or what I usually do, I have a pillowcase, I have bed linen, which I put on top, well, basically just the bed sheet. I put it on top of the bed, and then I have, this is not a sleeping bag, because when I stay in the huts, I don't take a sleeping bag, that's usually heavier. But this is a liner for a sleeping bag, which is why I put a bed sheet on top of the bed. I put a pillowcase onto a pillow. You usually get a pillow in a hut. And then I cover myself, or more like I go into this sleeping bag liner. It's like a sleeping bag, but it's very, very thin. You usually use it inside a sleeping bag so that you don't need to wash your sleeping bag too often. Also, that's my towel for washing up. And you might ask why everything is in plastic bags. Again, horrible for the environment, but I will reuse this. And the problem is, as I said, it rains a lot. Most of the time my backpack is covered. I have a rain cover for the backpack, and then on top of that I have my raincoat. Usually my backpack stays dry, but if the rain is really heavy, it can soak through. Also, it happened to me a couple of times that I was crossing some streams and I slipped and I fell into the water. And you really want to have some things to be dry. For example, when you get to the hut in the evening, you want to change into something dry and leave your wet clothes to dry, and you definitely want to have your bed linen dry to sleep in. That's why I have the most important things like bed linen, my clothes, all in plastic bags. While speaking of my clothes, I have a set for inside the hut. So I just change into that and put my hiking gear to dry. Also, that is kind of a backup. I have an extra trousers. They are very soft and thin and nice to be in the hut in, but just in case. And then it's very difficult again to decide with the weather, because it will be quite warm when I start hiking, as I will be in low altitude, but then when I get further, it will be higher in altitude and the temperature will be definitely below 10 degrees, maybe even sometimes close to 0 degrees Celsius. And I wasn't sure what kind of clothes to take. You want to have minimum, which is why I took one backup short sleeve t-shirt and one backup long sleeve t-shirt. I need to kind of survive for 2 weeks with one backup. As I said, one short sleeve, one long sleeve. And these are the clothes I will be wearing most of the time. My hiking trousers, and my hiking t-shirt. I will put them on already today, and I will be traveling in them. My cap, obviously. Yes, then I have some printouts. I still haven't decided if I want to take this because I have them on my phone, but these are printouts of my bookings, and you usually need to show them at the huts. I have my sleep mask because usually when you stay in the huts it's a lot of people, and people go into the bedroom, go out wearing their headlamps, and it's very difficult to sleep. I usually go to sleep quite early because I like to wake up before sunrise and watch sunrise as I hike, which is why I really need this to just ignore all other people. Okay, what's next? Yes, I have my emergency kit. This. When you hike alone, you really need to be ready for everything. This part is mostly for blisters and wounds. So I have antiseptic wipes, I have antiseptic cream, I have all kinds of different plasters of different sides, and some adhesive dressing, which is also really nice, especially if you have a huge blister. Sometimes it's nice to buy some adhesive bandages, which are really large, and they go so nicely around large wounds or large blisters. What else do I have here? That's mostly, yeah, some like some bandages, which in case I get, I don't know, some large cut or something, I will be able to put it around the wound. Some tape for wound dressing. I also have some, that's really dark, but I have some stripes to close a wound in case I get some really large cut and I need to take the sides of a wound together. You are recommended to have that. I never have done that by myself. I've only got it once at the hospital when I cut myself really badly. But yeah, it's good to be ready. On top of that, I have this adhesive bandage. It's to wrap my ankle or knee or whatever if I get injured. Some more dressing just in case. And I really like this thing. It's difficult to explain what it is. It's again self-adhesive dressing, but you can cut out pieces of a perfect size, and it's self-adhesive. If I have, for example, a blister on my pinky toe, I can cut a piece, I can put it around, and it will stick. It's very nice. Yes. What else? Some extra blister plasters. I cannot find them now, but I have some painkillers, paracetamol and ibuprofen, because, I mean, in case I'm in pain or I have a headache, whatever. Mosquito repellent and sunscreen as well. It's not as sunny as in summer, which is why I don't have too much. I have this for my hands, I have one for my face in that bag. Hopefully I don't need mosquito repellent. Yes. My emergency satellite device. With this I will be sending a message to my parents every evening saying that I'm okay. And then they will see my location. Also there is an SOS button. If something goes really wrong, that I can press that and, well, someone will fly a helicopter and save me. Yeah, I usually bring a thermometer with me. It's probably a useless precaution, but if I get sick or something, it would be nice to have it. These are wet wipes, which I carry in this little bag. I carry this one on the belt of the backpack. And here I usually put things that I can need as I go, so that I don't want to put my backpack down and get them out. And what I usually have here is some wet wipes, some extra plasters, sunscreen, which I just put on as I go, then some painkillers. Yes, one of the chargers goes in there. And yeah, I think that's it. Also, I have 2 bags of socks. Unfortunately, I decided to take 5 pairs. Ideally, I prefer to have a new pair of socks each day because, well, I'm very blister prone and it's nice to have new socks every day. But I cannot take 13 pairs. It's just, they will not fit into my bag. Then I have thin gloves because, as I said, it's going to be quite cold, but not too cold to take some real gloves. And these are actually perfect for hiking in autumn. I have a buff and I put a second one on the side. These are things that I might take if there is space. It's usually nice to have 2 buffs because if it's really windy, I can put one around my neck and one around my ears. And yeah, a bag of underwear that I really have to take for 13 days. Then I have an emergency blanket. There is also this little thing. It's a thermometer on one side and it's a compass on the other side. Very useful. And finally, I have clip-on shades. I can clip this onto my glasses. And I have tea bags for my thermos. By the way, I have a thermos. Well, you know what a thermos looks like. I just don't want to get it out. And I need tea for my thermos to hike and also to have for dinner and breakfast. There are also some extra things. You see, before when I just started hiking, I was kind of worried about safety and everything, and I used to take, this is gas, and I have a little gas stove which I can put on, and this is metal cup to put on. But to be fair, now I only take these in winter, because if you get stuck outside in winter, then you really might need some hot water. But since now it's not going to hopefully go below 0, I'm thinking that if those don't fit into my backpack, I will not take them. Because as the night is not too cold, I think I might be able to survive if I get stuck outside without gas. It's nice to have it, but with this amount of stuff and food that I need to carry with me, I think it might be no space for this, and it's not too bad. And I used to have a backup phone with me. This is my old phone, and it also has GPS and it has maps, same as I have on my normal phone. But this time I rented this sometimes I rent a small GPS device, and it doesn't have this nice screen and map on it. There is a map, but it's so hard to use. This time I decided to rent this one. I had this one for my Patilanta skiing trip, and it was really nice. It's a bit heavy and bulky, but it has a map inside. And what I like the most, you can get weather forecast, and that's very useful. Which is why I'm thinking maybe taking a second phone might be useless. I used to take it when I didn't take a GPS device, and then it's just to have a second map as a backup. But I'll think about it. Yes, I think I've told you. Well, I have this bag which I just used to organize things. I put all small pieces like a thermometer, plasters, some of my painkillers into this one, and it's just very nice to put them all in one thing. Okay, now that's really all of the stuff that I'm taking with me. And yes, I need to go out and buy some last things, like I'm missing batteries for this headlamp, one of them is chargeable, but this one goes on batteries, and I need to go and buy some batteries. And then when I'm back, I will try to put all of this into my backpack. And I will need to do it in a clever way, because I will start easily. I will start from a place called Nikkaluokta, and that is a mountain station, which means it has electricity, it has shower, and I can rent some bed linen, which means I will not actually need anything from my backpack. And the only thing I might need is my toiletries, underwear, and energy bars for the first day of hiking, which is why I want to put those at the top, so that I don't need to look for them in my backpack on the first day. And even on the second night, I'm staying at Kvikkjokk, which is also a mountain station, and you can also rent bed linen, and there are showers, which again means that the only thing I need will be another bag of energy bars to put into the pocket for the second day. So I will put these on the top, but the rest of the things, for example food, are quite unnecessary for the first 2 days, and I will need to put them into the bottom of my backpack. Yeah, this is it, and I will show you how I'm packing my backpack when I'm back from the shop. Okay, I'm back. And now I just need to try to put everything into my backpack. And I just forgot to mention one more thing that I take with me. And these are slippers, which I always take with me. And it's very nice. First, it's very nice to have them on a train, because you can take off your hiking shoes and just be comfortable, especially on the way back when your feet are dying. But another important thing is, usually when I get to a hut, my shoes are completely wet. So what I want to do, I want to immediately put them into a drying room, if there is a drying room in a hut, or next to a stove with fire, to dry them out, to basically have as long as I can to let them dry, at least to the state of being slightly damp, not completely wet. But then what do? You need something to wear to go to a woodshed or to the bathroom. And that's when these are extremely nice. I just put my shoes to dry and I wear those. And in winter, when wet shoes are not a problem most of the time, I use them actually inside the huts, because the floors are really cold in winter. That's why I always take them with me. And I recommend you do as well. But now let's see if I can fit all this stuff into my backpack. Okay, the backpack is ready. Now I just need to see how heavy it is. I was able to put everything in, but it was a very tight fit. Ooh. Okay, that is seriously not great. Let's see. Which means 20 kilograms. well, 19.8, which is basically 20 kilograms. That is quite horrid, because as you can see, I'm a very tiny person, and 20 kilograms is more than a third of my weight, and it's definitely not recommended to carry something that is, I think the advice is to have something below 25% of your weight, and that's below 33% of my weight. Well, the good thing is that as I keep going and keep eating the food from in there, it will get lighter and lighter. But there is nothing I can remove, honestly. It's mostly food and my photo gear. What can you do? Well, that's what I take with me. And soon you will be able to see the video of me hiking. Hello. I wanted to make a little addition to this packing video, and I thought that I have a great idea of filming it while I'm running. Unfortunately, the running isn't going well because we had a snowfall yesterday, and as you can see, it's just too much snow. It's so annoying. So maybe it is not such a great idea, but here we are. At least it's very pretty around me. What I wanted to tell you is packing for such a hike should be really personalized. It really depends on what you want to get from the hike, and it's quite important. For example, take me. For me, the best part about hiking is, I would say, the motion itself. I love getting up with sunrise and then just hiking the whole day, ideally with not so much stopping, because I get really bored if I stop. Well, sometimes I stop for 10-15 minutes, but not longer than that. That's why, for example, for my food, I carry energy bars and I just munch on them the whole day. And I have some tea with me usually to wash that down. But I don't stop for cooking. Which is why, if I plan to stay in the huts, I never carry any cooking stuff with me, at least in summer. The snow is killing me. But yeah, obviously, if I plan on camping, I would take some cooking equipment, and also if I go in winter as a precaution, I would always take something, because if you get stranded somewhere in the middle of nowhere in winter, you definitely need to be able to at least melt some snow for yourself. So it has a benefit of me not needing to stop to cook. Also, the benefit, I guess, of being light and convenient. And it's especially great when the weather is horrible, which is, to be fair, at least half of the time when you hike in the north. And you know, when it's pouring rain and horrible wind, stopping to cook your food is really not a good idea. By the way, on that thought, you should think about it when you check the weather in the hut. You know, when you hike, there is no phone connection, but you can always ask in the hut if you pass any for the weather forecast. And if it doesn't look good, maybe think about an easy way of getting lunch for that specific day. But also talking to other hikers and seeing a lot of other hikers along the way. I know that it's not for everyone. Actually, I would say I'm quite
unique in this aspect, because most people do prefer to take hiking a little bit lighter, and they actually enjoy the relaxed moments of stopping somewhere for an hour at some beautiful spot and cooking themselves dinner or lunch. And I can see kind of the coziness and the beauty of it. It's not my thing, but many people do, especially if you're hiking with someone and you can share the weight, because obviously, since I usually hike alone, I try to take the minimal weight to carry myself. But if you're hiking together with someone, it might make more sense to bring some cooking equipment along. And again, even if I take something for cooking, I'm very minimal about it. I have a gas can, a little stove, which is like a little tripod you attach at the top of your gas can, and then I have a kettle. By the way, I love my hiking kettle. It's probably one of the most expensive things in my hiking equipment, but I love it. It's like a metal plate which is made of some really light metal, something really modern. You cannot even believe that it's metal when you weigh the thing. And then the walls are rubber, so you can fold them into that plate, and then the lid fits really nicely on top of that, and you basically have like a very flat, roundish and very light thingy to carry with you. It's amazing. But originally I was just taking a metal cup with me to boil water. That's my option for cooking equipment. But again, I often see that a lot of people who travel in company really enjoy the cooking together aspect of it. And then there are so many fancy types of hiking cooking equipment, which I would totally recommend if you are into this kind of thing. And I always see people carrying all kind of foods, like even eggs and fruits, and those are so heavy, and I always think, how do you carry that on a long hike? But I guess in that case you would usually not hike that long if you have all that weight with you. But if that's your thing, then maybe think about it and maybe buy yourself something like that, some really fancy cooking appliances which you can sit together around and just enjoy. That's what I mean about personalizing your hiking equipment. I can see also that many people like the aesthetic aspect of it. They carry pretty cups and pretty plates and pretty light, and I definitely see how adorable it is, and I probably would have loved to have those things on some of my hikes, but for me the weight is always way more important than this kind of prettiness of the scene when I hike. That's why, even though I love seeing those pictures and the videos of people cooking with those pretty things, I would never do it myself, just because I would prefer to hike a longer distance than spending time and carrying too much weight with me. And even in other aspects of my hiking, I now carry way less stuff than I used to at the beginning. At the beginning I was thinking, oh, maybe I need a couple of changes of clothes to carry with me in case I get wet or I get dirty and disgusting. But then I realized that when you hike, you just don't care. A good raincoat will leave you no need for carrying dry clothes. And anyway, if you get wet and you change, you will still get wet. So when you hike a lot, you kind of just give up on this kind of thing, and it's more important to just have less things and a lighter backpack, which is, I guess, where I want to leave you with this video. Look, it's so pretty. I'm having an adorable sunset, but I'm definitely not making it to the castle where I was planning to run to. This snow. But anyway, yeah. After this video, I will hopefully start with the series about my 13 days hike in the north of Sweden from the last September. The reason I haven't started on it is that I'm still waiting for my drone footage to be approved, which is what you must do in Sweden, otherwise you might get fined. But I feel like, well, they're very slow with approving stuff. I've been waiting for 3 months, I think now, but I feel like it's close and I can start working on my footage and it will be, I think, very pretty. So I hope you will stay with me, maybe as you have to say as a YouTuber. If you want to see it, subscribe. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Also, maybe if you are a hiker, you can give me some hiking advice about packing, because to be fair, I'm still a fairly new hiker. I've only been doing it for 4 years, so I always appreciate advice. If you have some kind of fancy hiking appliance which you love and which saves you a lot of pain, please let me know about it. And see you next time.